Fellow travelers of Tevat, welcome back to another video. I just finished the Snezhnaya Archon Quest Acts 1 and 2, and holy shit, what did we just witness? That was the greatest act of all time. We have a lot to talk about. I took a bunch of screenshots, so let's get into this entire act and everything that happened, because there was a lot of lore that was revealed to us, and we need to talk about it. Okay, here we are at the beginning of the Snezhnaya Archon quest. Oh my god, I can't believe this. So strap yourselves in and let's go over everything that happened in Acts 1 and 2 of the Snezhnaya Archon quest. So I personally walked to Snezhnaya first to explore, but it automatically put me in the Archon quest because of course it did. So we actually start off with saying goodbye to Nodcry and Columbina. We didn't even get to say goodbye to our friends or even get a picture with everyone at the flagship, so okay. But we go into Snezhnaya and we come across this chest, and Paimon gets covered in snow, which off the bat, you can see the animations have already started to increase. The quality is much better. This is just phenomenal. So Paimon gets covered in snow, and then we actually, due to the blizzard, we get knocked off of the bridge and we get separated from Paimon, and we find ourselves in a very deep ice cave that looked really cool. I wonder how many lost trains and just vehicles are underground, trapped underneath snow and in caves, since Snezhnaya has been around for hundreds of years, just like every other nation. But I feel like this place is going to hold a lot of secrets. And then we meet the Eye of Grey in here, and this is where we get our new mechanics, which is really cool, our heat source and everything. And then we finally run into Paimon in a cabin, and Piero is here. Now this was very surprising. My jaw dropped. I did not expect to be seeing Piero at the beginning of the Snezhnaya Archon quest. Who do we run into first? It's freaking Piero. What? We were wondering how much interaction we were going to have with him at all in Acts 1 and 2. Like, damn, this was out of nowhere. So he looks absolutely badass. Look at him. His model looks great. Tons of detail. His mask looks so cool. Love his outfit. Who are you? Like, we've never met this guy. We don't know who he is. And, I mean, look at this shot. This is just something you would never have expected in a million years. So we kind of just crash land our train. We fall off a cliff. But the thing is, we actually fall right next to a town. So we go into the town and look for a place to stay, but there is nothing. But we run into our first new character of this nation, Alosha. Now, I've been pronouncing his name wrong the entire time ever since all the names got revealed because of the Y. Why is there a Y in his name when it's pronounced Alosha? I don't get it. I also pronounced Vodianitsa wrong before learning that's how you say her name. It's just like, damn, I don't even know. But we learn a lot about Project Stuja. So going into this nation, I personally had no idea what Project Stuja was. So I was really interested in what this entire project was, how it dealt with the Tsaritsa and Snezhnaya as a whole. And it was really interesting. So we learned about Project Stuja, and it's funny because Stuja means bitter cold. So every town had to reduce their energy consumption, and it caused a lot of fights and arguments. The townspeople got less than the city people. It really reminded me of Mantle and Atlas from the anime Ruby. I really liked how it was very similar to that because, you know, Mantle had nothing and was suffering while Atlas was fine. Very similar here with these small towns getting absolutely no materials while Snezhnograd got everything in these big factories. So tons of fights and panic around here. We get to Alosha's house, and his dog, I mean, adorable, is here too. Nice little cozy cabin. And then we make a plan because he thinks he found his prime suspect, aka Walter White. And we had to avoid, you know, just like every other Archon quest, there's always a, you know, get around the enemy, sneak around, do not be spotted. So that was really cool. And then we got to play as a dog. Look at this. I can't believe we actually got to play as a dog. And this just makes me excited because what if this is like a test for playing future characters or other animals or creatures? That's really fascinating. that we actually got to play as a dog, and it was really cool. We got to go over here, follow a sense, distract the people. It was awesome. Then we actually had a nice little touching moment with this old lady and Alosha taking care of her, talking about the Grim Reaper. So that was really interesting, which was actually major foreshadowing. You know, you see people's faces, it turns, you know, clear or fuzzy, and then the Grim Reaper is there. So, yeah, that was pretty harrowing. We stopped at this little town, and then Alosha and I take the train to Snezhnaya, and I really liked this map of all the different towns we can take a train to. Thought it was really cool. And honestly, going to Snezhnaya this early in the Archon quest kind of surprised me. I don't know why. I didn't think we were going to get there that early, but we do. And we take the train. But hello, hold up a second. While on the train there, the Shadow Realm hits us. And this was a big surprise because the Shadow Realm isn't supposed to be in the middle of Snezhnaya. Like, what the heck? And this kind of threw everything for a loop. This was not what we expected. We kind of just went into an alternate universe, which was really cool. I mean, look at this place. It reminded me of that one area in that one Fontaine World quest where you go into the book, you know, you read the book and you go into like the ruins. That's what it kind of reminded me of. That was really cool. And you could see the different trains in the just atmosphere floating around. Like, good God, that's crazy. So this is where we got the FPS mode and the gun, and it was literally like playing Call of Duty. I was reminded of a campaign in one of the older Call of Duties. I don't remember which one, whether it was like Black Ops 2 or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I'm not sure which one, but there was an Archon quest. There was a campaign with a mission where we were on a train going through it like this, clearing out all the enemies. God, the amount of like COD vibes I got from this is great. I'm a huge FPS guy, so this was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed this. And it had the grappling hooks as well. Kind of gave me a little bit of Advanced Warfare vibes, which is one of my favorite CODs. Oh, this was awesome. The reload, the grenade launcher, the sliding. Literally had everything you could have asked for. We need an actual 6v6 game mode of just this in Genshin. Oh, it would be so popular. People would love it. Please, somebody make that in Miliastra if the devs aren't going to create their own game mode. But this was all really cool. So we escape the Shadow Realm and we make it to this town, but it's like abandoned. There is nobody here. It's completely dead. And this actually mentioned Hyperborea. The Eye of Grey talked about the Golden City for a bit, which is very, very interesting. So maybe some of this, you know, futuristic tech is in Hyperborea. And I know that's like a special place, like the moon, that we could be going in this patch cycle. So one of these sub-regions could be Hyperborea we're going to soon, and like in the next year. So I'm very curious what the environment would be like, which I'm very excited about. And then Snezhnaya. We can see it in the distance. It looks majestic, very grandiose, big. And look at this. Tell me this does not look like Honkai Star Rail. This is beautiful. This is the main train station, just like the Astral Express. And I'm just like, damn, that looks like Star Rail. Here is our loadout for our guns and everything. Really cool. And then this is a really, really nice touch. And I would love if they added this for every nation. We have the Archon quests and then the main world quests here. This will gradually increase as we continue. But I really like this. This nation is going to have a ton of important quests. And they're all going to be documented here so we know if we did them or not. Man, I love what they did with this region. This is perfect. Very, very unique and different. And I love that. And we actually got to sit on the train. Dude, it was so cool. We got to, you know, be on the train while it went from one city to another. The immersion was crazy. They had music playing. We got to see the different animals and bosses in the background, mountains. It was so cool. It was literally like we were on a train, and this little Paimon face was adorable. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, man. And it literally just took us from one place to another. There was no black screen or anything. We got to go outside the door. It was so cool. And here is the train station. Love the lighting, the architecture. Very fun. It's like a bigger Fontaine. It's awesome. I love it. And look how massive this region is. This region is huge. It is so big and wide. And the town, the main city, is just absolutely so detailed. So many different places to go and visit. Oh, so many world quests, though. You keep always getting put into a world quest. And I took the screenshot because I love the bricks. I don't know why. I was really hoping there would be bricks in this city due to the old-fashioned, like kind of like Russia vibes, and they nailed it out of the park. I love it, dude. I don't know why the bricks just look so good. Just very that rusty type of vibe. I don't even know, dude. And the city looks beautiful. Love the different colors on the houses. And I love how this is like a square. This is like Times Square a little bit. You have just different cities on one end and then on another. It's just awesome, dude. It literally feels like a city. There's places to go all the way around, dude. And remember, no one practices alchemy in Snezhnaya for some historical reason. So that's why there's no crafting bench in Snezhnaya. It's on the train. So that's pretty cool. I love that they did that. And this area was really cool. This is the Glupov, I think. This is the Fatui area. I mean, this just looks mean. I don't know. It looks like a very heavy military place. That's for sure. So basically, since Paimon is sick, we put her in a restaurant to rest, and then we wanted to go meet with Child. Child was not available. Sandrone came out. Capitano actually promoted Child. This was one of the most shocking things. Capitano gave all of his men to Child once he left. And that's kind of nuts. We had this nice shot here with Child and Pantalone and their political sides. They're on two different sides, like to debate a lot. And of course, Sandrone would rather have our help because she knows we are a good person. And yeah, Sandrone is very nice to us now compared to when we first met her in Nodcry back in a year ago. Oh, how quickly time changes, people. So we get an emergency call and Sandrone and I rush here. And this is where we first meet Odette. So Odette's the Fatui ballerina that we secretly have history with because of Rosaline. But we have to go save people underground from a monster. And we had a really cool cutscene here. This was sick. This is when Traveler got his weapon. Odette looks beautiful as ever. Just the entire process of shit in Snezhnaya. It sounds like it takes forever. Pantalone needs to approve the budget. Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. And then once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That sounds like it would take a month. It's ridiculous how things work in Snezhnaya. And then we run into Child himself. Here we go. I love this man, dude. And holy crap. The way the Traveler was just like, what the hell is wrong with all of you? What are we doing with Project Stuja? These town people are being treated awfully. And you could see by their reaction, they were all stunned and not expecting that. And they all had their own thoughts, which was hilarious. Odette was just like, I can't believe he would speak to two harbingers like that. Oh, Odette, you have no idea what we've been through. But then Child breaks the news that we killed Rosaline, even though Raiden Shogun did that. Not us, but we did help. And Odette was just like, it's fine, but it's not fine. I'm going to go. Yeah. So that happened. We meet with Alosha again, and we were going to plan on buying some crystal to help out the small towns. And we run into Odette, who was doing the same exact thing. And things were kind of tense and awkward between Odette and I. And Alosha picked up on it immediately. He's good. His intuition's really good. And yes, Odette really took control of the situation. She's just as skilled as an officer as you are a dancer, which is honestly kind of a foreshadow because, yeah, as you know, Lelik and everything. So that's a nice foreshadow there. And all of us come back to see Paimon, and Odette gives her this little thing, which is again foreshadowing because we know this is something Rosaline gave to her. And I really loved this part of the Archon quest. I mean, the quality and the animation is insane. We're literally having a conversation, us with Alosha, and you can see Odette and Paimon moving around in the background talking. It was so cool to see and out of focus. And you can see the stage here. This was awesome. This is all still in Act 1, by the way. Both acts were over 4 hours long. It was crazy. Beautiful stage, bigger stage than Fontaine's. This is Vodianitsa. We meet her for the first time. She is hilarious. Her animations are awesome. This, I mean, just her animations, her expressions, unreal, top tier. And then we meet Mitia. And I'm just going to say this now. I could say this later on, but Nefer was kind of like the poster child and most important character in Nodcry. I think in Snezhnaya, it's Mitia. I think Mitia is going to be the most important character we meet. He's going to be just a crucial part of every single Archon quest. Major impact on the story. I think he's going to be special. So yeah, I love his voice. I love how talkative he is. His scarf is hilarious. His scarf is trying to keep him from saying stuff. And yeah, he lied to Vodianitsa. He said how much he loved Odette's performance, but didn't, really pay attention to Vodianitsa's. And she had to really refrain herself from, going off. But yeah, he couldn't say what the energy was used for because his scarf started choking him. But then he realized, when he paid for everyone, he knew that we were here, which is kind of sus. And then we turn to the Snezhnaya Vecha, Pantalone and child debate, which was cool. We had this girl, Ronova, which is like a wannabe Charlotte journalist here, which was hilarious. I loved her. Dude, she was so funny. And this is kind of like the slogan for Snezhnaya, which is thought was pretty interesting. But we definitely see this many times later in this Archon quest. Shuganov kind of switched sides on Project Stuja, which was very sus. We did not expect that. Something had to have happened for him to switch. And there's this dude called Lelik. They were part of the Rokot and kind of really changing everything, trying to threaten people to change sides. And we were trying to get to the bottom of who Lelik could be. And we came on Odette because her father passed away during the early stages of this project and she had other motives to go against it. So that was the end of Act 1. So here we go, Act 2. Little did we know when this picture was leaked at the beginning of 7.0 beta, we thought this was going to be like at the end of the Archon quest, a nice picture of everybody after a performance or something. Oh no. Little did we know this picture was going to turn into something much more dark and serious. Oh my gosh. The amount of times we see this picture and blood and just the implications of this. Oh, it gets dark and it gets very, very cryptic and horror-like. Oh man. Act 2 is like a movie. One of the greatest acts I've ever done in my life. So we go to see Odette's practice performance. And there is a big, giant snowstorm, we think because of the monster in the east. And the snowstorm is so bad, it's never been this bad. No one can leave. So we're kind of just trapped inside of this theater for the night. You can see the snowstorm out there. You literally can't see outside. It is wild. People were wondering why no one was leaving, and that's the reason. Yeah, this is not normal. Something is going on out there, and it's kind of not good. I took this screenshot because these two are hot together. Look at them. They're beautiful. So after a moment, we actually got details of everyone in this picture. And I thought that was really cool. I've never seen something like this before. I don't know why they did it, but I was like, okay, this is pretty nice. I love how we get to see all the characters and a little summary of all of them. And it was nice to see Tonya, child's sister, for the first time. So we're all here. I mean, this picture, this screenshot reminds me of Nodcry, of everyone in the Curatorium of Secrets forming up a plan. And that's what I thought was going to happen here. Like, all right, we're going to form a plan. We're going to, wait out the snowstorm or something. And it did remind me of one of those, movies in the past or those tropes where, there's a storm inside of a theater. You have to stay the night. But when we went to sleep, we kind of had a weird dream of something called the Black Mist. And it was really creepy. We had to go up some stairs and things were burning. Snezhnaya was burning of pictures and stuff. And then two people decided to give up and go into the Black Mist. And guess what? We wake up and they're dead. This just turned into a murder mystery. Oh my God, I was invested. Dude, I was just so immersed and involved in the story. I was so on edge. I love murder mysteries. I love drama stuff like this. I was so freaking ready. Oh man, we knew they were dead. So everyone looked for clues. And then it's like, the killer's one of us. It's like one of these murder mysteries you see in novels and plays, huh? Who's the killer? And I'm just like, what is happening, dude? And even at the very beginning, I was sus of this guy because I was like, This guy kind of came out of nowhere, and he's friends with Chuganov, who's not very a good person. So I was sus of this guy from the start. So yeah, it just seems too unbelievable. There is a snowstorm, a murder. Seems kind of crazy. And then this picture comes back up with 2 gone. 2 down. Oh boy. And now we let in Alosha and Vodianitsa on the idea about Odette. And look at this. We're all spying. I love the screenshot. And then Odette confesses she's Lelik, but she's not the murderer. And then I thought this was cute, us bodyguarding Odette here. So we form a plan, and then Vodianitsa sings us a song. It was really pretty, really nice. And we kind of learn a lot now about Odette because it's us 2 awake at night, and she kind of opens up to us, talking about Rosaline and her final gifts for her, which was the crystal with the fire in her, the core Ignis. So this was very interesting. Odette's learned different information compared to us about Rosaline and the final words and how she settled things towards the end. So I guess Odette did not get the full truth or something. So we were just like, go talk to the Knave Arlecchino. And I think that's going to come into play later on in the story, possibly, where she has to talk to Arlecchino because something is not right. There's 2 different stories, so something's not correct here. And Odette kind of tells us that the ultimate goal of this energy experiment is to create a weapon for the final battle against the Heavenly Principles. So we need all of the energy, and that's what was even happening in Nodcry with the Experimental Design Bureau. Like, holy crap. And then again, when we fell asleep, we go into a dream, and the black mist, and this time it was like glass breaking. I thought the animations were really cool here. And 2 people give their life up, and I thought this was a really cool symbol of going in and out of the dream. A drama about sleeping, which began as a joke the other day, is now playing out on the stage. No one counted on it being a tragedy. Yeah. When we first got trapped, people joked about sleeping on the stage and how we could make a drama about it, and it being called Sleeping Beauty. Well, now people are actually sleeping on the stage, and it's turned into a very big tragedy with multiple people dying, and it's not good. Everyone is gathered around the 2 sleepers in the center of the stage without even expecting the scene. You already know what has happened. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, Odette and Vodianitsa worked closely with these 2, and they both died on the stage of all places. That's so poetic. And then, all right, so you can see this text. During this quest, I'm like, okay, I need to write some things down. So what Mitya says here, I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal. And I'm just like, okay, at this point, let me take some notes. Are they trapped in a time space? I was wondering. It's been days and nobody has been seen outside and the snow is not let up. So I'm thinking they're just trapped in like some sort of dream world, or, you know, time has stopped or something. Things just don't make sense. 2 people die every night and it's like they're all asleep in Tavat maybe. And they're all like in another world. I was just very confused what was going on. That was going through my mindset at this point of the story. Obviously, that's going to change very quickly. So 4 people now dead. And yeah, now we find some more information. The head count is different. There is an extra person here. And then obviously Vodianitsa screaming about this is the funniest part of the entire Archon quest. This was so funny. God, she's the best. And then we learn about the ley lines. This was huge. I mean, this reminds me of the Night Kingdom and Natlan. Remember the ley line issue in Leeway during the Hu Tao Lantern Rite quest? I mean, ley lines have a huge part. And apparently, for some reason, the theater is not connected to the ley lines. That one area in Snezhnaya. And that changes literally everything. So we know now it's a ley line issue. And there are ghosts and stuff like that. And words on paper, death is near. I mean, pretty ominous. I didn't really know what this meant. Like, death is near, like someone's going to die soon or something. Or like the death is near, like these ghosts are still here. The Civil War, last time I checked, the Fae and the humans are still at each other's throats. Boom. Once he said that, we knew this dude was from the past. He's a ghost. He's not actually alive. He's a soul hanging out here because the ley lines didn't, take him in. Just like the Night Kingdom. There's souls that didn't get transferred into there. Very similar situation. Shram is from the past. He died. And then I wanted to write down some more notes here. If you walk outside, you'll be set free from the theater. You'll actually get, your soul will be taken away. And then I write down, remember when that guy went to get the blankets and someone said it looked like he just vanished? I think his name was like Dimov or something. At the very, very beginning, that's because he was already dead like Shram. My God, this is amazing. He was probably another ghost that was trapped there. He went out to go get blankets, and someone said it looked like he just vanished. I mean, the foreshadowing, the storytelling, dude, it's so good. Oh my God, I love it. And there he goes, off into the snowstorm, and then vanishes. And then Odette drops a nuke, an absolute nuke on me. Before all this, the last time I saw him, he was dead. Mitya? Dead? What? We literally watched him talk with Vodyanitsa a few days ago at a restaurant. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this a Misha thing all over again? Remember Misha from Star Rail? Whether he's dead or alive, a soul. I'm just like, this is just like him and, you know, very similar. I don't even know. So unless he really did come back for the dead, I'm like, no way Mitya found a way to come back from the dead. Yeah, you're going to have another dream. And this time he has another dream. And Valeri is the one who stays back. And then Valeri dies. I'm just like, oh shit. They're killing off actual playable characters now? When is this going to end? What is going to happen? What's the end goal of this? I was absolutely out of my mind shocked. Valeri deceased. You would never see this, dude. I can't believe that. And then Mitya's like, I'm the dead person? Even the scarf is pointing at him. Like, no way. And then he mentions this. I believe you mentioned that you know Tonya's brother. Had you ever met her before all this? And then when he said that, I'm like, oh shit. There's no way Tonya died before this and Child doesn't know about it. Like, are we going to have to break the news that Tonya's dead? I was so terrified of that and I was really scared. And here is a screenshot of everyone debating what's going on here. And then Mitya was like, I don't remember dying. I'm pretty sure I experienced something like amnesia. So he's trying to think of what happened in that area. And the ley line familiar, like, so much has happened. Snowstorm, ley lines, ghosts of the dead, amnesia, paralyzing, dreams. It's a terrible feeling. There's so much to do. You just feel powerless at this point. So then Vodyanitsa and Tonya have a real heart-to-heart conversation. It kind of gets really deep, talking about like, hey, you never know if you're going to wake up tomorrow morning. This is like in person as well. So we can never be 100% sure. When we drift off to sleep, we're going to open our eyes tomorrow. And that really kind of changes your outlook in life, you know, live life to the fullest every day. Vodyanitsa sings a beautiful song, kind of like a requiem. So again, this is again foreshadowing. May those who have lost watch over us and follow the song back home at night. And then, dude, this was freaking terrifying. Holy horror, dude. The night prayer in this dream absolutely freaking just comes right into your screen and is really scary, dude. It is nuts. And then I actually went into this and died and I got jump scared again, dude. And then Vodyanitsa's dead. I'm like, there's 2 playable characters that are gone now. What the heck? Vodyanitsa deceased. And then Tusser, and that's when we find out this is not Tonya. This is another ghost from the past. Unbelievable. And we find out that Chuganov is not actually who he says he is. He doesn't have a family anymore. He's been lying this whole time. And everything kind of like becomes revealed here about Chuganov and Tonya. He viewed Tonya kind of like his daughter, and illness from the way back that when. And obviously this illness that she has is curable now. But back then, you know, hundreds of years ago, it wasn't. It was still a terminal illness. And I mean, dude, just imagine reading this before even doing this quest. You would not believe everything. These 3 playable characters are all dead because of me. And it's Tony, like, holy shit. And then she goes out into the blizzard. And then we hear a knock at the door. We're like, what? I'm like, is this going to be over? Did we do it? Did we complete it? But no, it's Mitya. He's back. Like, what? And he said that the requiem that Vodyanitsa sang woke him up. Well, yeah, he said that his mind grew hazy and he kind of died, basically. His mind and soul slipped away. But he regained consciousness due to Vodyanitsa. And then we figure out, maybe we've all been dead from the very start. And then I'm just like, how though? How would all of us be dead? And then this, dude, that's freaking frightening. Holy screenshot, bro. They went all out. Genshin and Hoyoverse went all out for this Archon quest. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. We all died in the theater. But how? Like, this just doesn't make sense to me. But then Mitya finds out there's blood on his fingertips. When did that happen? And then, holy shit, Ronova, ruler of death. Here we go. Things get wild. And you know what? This entire quest, I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Alosha. Alosha's here. We never ever see Alosha throughout this quest. He's always towards the side, very much a side character. He never has really a front and center role. I always forget that he's here. And then we kind of go back to that talk about, you know, the old person, the Grim Reaper, soul in the afterlife. And who's the Grim Reaper? It's Alosha. And good God, look at that. Absolutely frightening. That is demon stuff right there. Even though you didn't say much, you were always subtly guiding everyone from the sidelines. Yep. And then here comes Ronova. And then she literally comes out of Alosha's body, which was so creepy to see, dude. Oh, yeah. The one who came back was the Grim Reaper. It was not Alosha at the beginning. So we backed Ronova into a corner so she can't keep the act. And yeah, look at her. She looks sick, dude. In Alosha's form. It's wild. And she kills Odette and Chuganov with a snap of a finger. Bang. Just like that. Absolutely nuts. We basically find out we, you know, triggered a curse, and we're just like, what? How? And I was like, yeah, it's very familiar with the Night Kingdom. Very similar. Guiding souls. And I mean, this shot's just nuts, dude. That is wild. What a shot. Cinematography went hard this Archon quest. And it's poetic this all happened at a theater. This is what we talked about earlier. And I mean, look at this clock. Ronova, the eye, ticking time bomb. Every day we had to choose, like, you know, pick which two characters died. I thought this was really just dark and cryptic. It's just, oh, craziness. Day 6. 6 days we lived in this theater. 6 days. And 2 people died every day. And yeah, she has no interest in involving herself with Descenders for now. So, although this may change if Asmodee remains missing. So that's interesting. And then the cutscene. Mitya and us against Ronova. Which was wild, dude. The shots are just insane. And then we wake up. Everyone that was in the theater were only out for a few minutes, it looked like. We all fell asleep because of that curse. And no one remembers but us and Mitya at the beginning. Nobody else remembered. It's just one of those dreams. It's like, this has happened in other stories and stuff where, you know, one person, kind of like ReZero. If you guys have seen the anime ReZero, Subaru remembers everything, but when he returns by death, no one else remembers that except for Subaru. So very, very similar as a loop in one of Subaru's lives. So we jog Mitya's memory by him looking at his hand. So he now figures out what the memory loss that the people, you know, at the Armory Palace go through. It's the curse of death. Ronova, that's what's causing it. So yeah, why are we resurrected after we die though? Like, she doesn't just kill us. And then we learn though later that she just wants to limit technology. And then we run into Valerian. He's just like, yeah, I mean, obviously we know everything about him after that, but he doesn't know us. But then we do kind of gather everyone together and jog their memories. So Chuganov is actually going to shut down the factory. So that's actually one good thing that came out of this. And then we found out that the jester, Piero, took Paimon up and took her away. So we go to the Armory Palace and check this out. Some of the structures underground here might be from a past civilization. And I mean, look at this. This is very different from what we've seen before. Really cool. I really liked it. I mean, look at this shit. What are they building in this nation? Good Lord. Technology is through the roof. And then he walks into another curse. He's in the afterlife again. Oh my gosh, we had to escape the black mist. And then we come back to life because the core Ignis. And then we literally just leave her there. We literally just leave Odette unconscious, dead. And then, here we go. The ruler of death, Ronova. Here we go. The meeting with the first Heavenly Principle in the game. And she is so hot. I mean, check this out. Dead bodies on the ground, Ruler of Death, the Grim Reaper in the air, and we are about to battle with her. She told us not to interfere with Snezhnaya affairs. I mean, she just looks so good. Look at her. I want her playable, man. I want her on my account. God, she looks so good. And then the cutscene. That thing is coming with me. Paimon, dude. She went right to Paimon. Piero, the jester, the director of the Fatui Harbingers, blocks that shot. Look at this. Oh my god, what a shot. That is sick. That thing may be a creation of Celestia we learn about, but it possesses none of Celestia's power, let alone authority. Oh, look at those eyes, dude. God damn her chest, bro. And then she leaves. So everyone awakens, and everyone's safe. All experiments are on hold until the Ruler of Death has been eliminated. So I guess the plan next patch is to form a plan to defeat the Ruler of Death. And let me tell you, the cutscenes are going to go hard. This might be the best cutscene in the game when we fight her. It's going to be wild as hell. And that's what she's been doing with this curse. She's blocking Snezhnaya's technological progress. The reason Mondstadt's medieval and, no technology there is because Venti knows about Ronova in this. So, very interesting. And anytime Mitya has a thought regarding an experiment or a breakthrough, Ronova comes in and curses everyone and kills everyone, basically, and just stops time. So he basically dragged everyone into this. Yep, our goal is to Heavenly Principles, and that weapon being built is to take down them, which is crazy. And then that's why we have our sights on the form of energy associated with the third descender, the Gnosis, and stellar linchpins. And this may hold the potential to allow this project to contend with them. I mean, everything's now falling into place. We're learning so much, dude. And yeah, we'd be repeating the same fate as Conria and Hyperborea. And we need to take down the Heavenly Principles. Teyvat, we don't want to lose Teyvat here. And just like other curses, dude, there's so many other curses that we're going to find out about because of the Heavenly Principles. We just don't know. It's unbelievable the amount of lore. We need to kill the Heavenly Principles because then when the time comes, humanity will be completely liberated from curses and lies. If the Tsaritsa and Snezhnaya can take down the Heavenly Principles, bro, I wonder if this, Genshin 2 could be part of this. What if we end the Heavenly Principles and then, we create a new world? I don't know. But we learn a lot about Celestia and Paimon. Basically, he tried to present her to the king, but didn't satisfy him. So she's very old. She doesn't remember anything. This is just really, really important backstory lore about Paimon, which we've been waiting forever about. So we all must join together to defeat the Heavenly Principles. And when he said this, I'm like, hey, what if we get other nations involved? Get Natlan, Nodcry, Leeway, Inazuma, get Raiden up in here, dude. And then here's that weapon, the polearm that we saw in the trailer. Tsaritsa is going to use this to take down Ronova, and I cannot wait. And then we get to see everyone, where everyone's at. Here's Alosha and Vodyanitsa. And then they're talking about the Roka and Lelik. And then we get Odette saying goodbye to Rosaline. She visited her grave, and we saw a little animation. And they even had light novels from the Publishing House in Snezhnaya. That's awesome. And then we finally meet the real Tonya. And bro, she actually looks like the fake Tonya from the theater drama. It's just, I can't believe it, dude. So many parallels in this Archon quest. Tonya, I'm glad you are safe and sound and healthy. And then the end of the Archon quest is the reveal of the Tsaritsa. And man, seeing her in full animated form, dude. God. So good. She looks awesome. Love the details. Love the coloring. Look at her. She just looks like a god. I can't wait to get them. Vesna looks great. Danica looks hot. I mean, I love both of them. I need to get both of them. I mean, look at her. She's just so good. We're going to start off 7.1 with a bang because we left off with a cliffhanger here. Look at them. What a screenshot, dude. We're going to learn about all three of these in the next Archon quest, Acts 3 and 4. So that's where we left off with the Tsaritsa, getting ready to battle Ronova. And there you have it. Act 2 done. First 2 acts are complete. Act 2 is one of the best acts I've ever done in this game, ever. One of the best stories I've ever had the experience of playing. So ultimately, that was a 10 out of 10. Cannot wait for next patch. What did you guys think? How much did you guys enjoy this? What's your favorite characters, favorite moments, everything? That was awesome. So let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.